Ladies and gentlemen, we have 52 players participating in today's large-scale ARMA 3 player versus player match. It's Friday Night Fight. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to Friday Night Fights. I'm MicOne, here with Obsolete.
Hey, how you doing?
And we are commentating today's match. It's looking to be a good one. We have a very high player count at 52 players participating in today's match. I think that's the highest turnout for Friday Night Fights ever, and it's looking to be a good game as a result. Obsolete, how do you see this round progressing right off the bat here?
Well, right off the bat, it looks like Red, the OPFOR is pushing up from their right. They're going to try to sweep around to BLUFOR's hill. BLUFOR split up. They went from their position looking out. They went right and left. They sent a squad over the hill and pushed out forward down that way towards the oncoming OPFOR, the entire OPFOR forces, and then they have a flanking element out to the right overwatching the MSR in the field.
That's right, and again, we're going to quickly call out the mission objective, which is going to be playing for this round, and that is that the OPFOR are attacking the town of Therisa, and I believe Hill 41, which is to the right of the town. They have to attack and secure the town center, as well as secure the top of the Hill 41. That also means, inherently, that BLUFOR is defending those two locations. And there's a round timer of 45 minutes for them to complete that objective.
That is correct, and BLUFOR is pushing out for a defensive posture here. I think, as we were talking a little pre-game, I think they're going to kind of do a withdrawal bound backwards once they engage in contact to kind of consolidate their forces back into the town to strong point it. I look for them to leave a team up on the hill as it still has good eyes over it. There's a good rock structure, good cover up on top of it, and it looks over the field where Red 4 is going to be advancing from.
At the beginning here, we see, as you said, a very, very long defensive line from NATO forces, or the BLUFOR forces, that they've extended way off to the left of Therisa, as well as way off to the right of Hill 41. So that's a very long line, and because OPFOR has decided to move in with a consolidated effort, I'm not sure that the units way off to the left of Therisa are actually going to be useful right now.
That is true. Yeah, they don't know exactly where Red 4 is coming, so they got to cover all their bases. So I think once they understand that the majority of the OPFOR forces are going to come from the right, I think they'll quickly pull back in once they're satisfied that there isn't going to be a left flank for the OPFOR.
I think you're right, and I think we're gonna spend some time right now to introduce the teams. I may have left out a unit or two, but because this is the biggest Friday Night Fights we ever had, it's hard to keep track of all the units participating. So on the NATO side, we have the 506th Infantry Division, OGC, 9th Cavalry, EDS Tactical, and on the OPFOR we have 3rd ID, Bravo Company, NATO Joe, and 8TG. So lots of communities participating in this event. Again, this is a part of Friday Night Fights, and Friday Night Fights is a bi-weekly player versus player milsim operation that takes place on Bravo Company servers, hosted by Bravo Company. And this is a multi-community event, which means any kind of unit from the ARMA community is welcome to participate. And if you want to get your unit participating, just be sure to message StarDogBC on Reddit or just Stardog on Steam, and we'll work that out.
So it looks like we have a BLUFOR force pushing way out to the from the left flank, just really far out there. I don't know that they need to be going that far. And OPFOR had a unit pushing up into the little town by the church. Valar's team was pushing up again. Looks like Valar may be taking point again for the this week like he did last week. I did have a explosion there. Do you have any eyes on where that came from?
I heard that explosion as well, but do not have eyes on exactly where it came from. It looks like the OPFOR forces are kind of scattering. They looks like they heard it as well and are getting kind of jittered by it, by that church.
Yeah, they still got the guys up the church hard pointing it, while the other element is now moving up the dirt road.
And I think
Just to
I
their
totally agree with
south.
you in terms of the uselessness of the BLUFOR forces on the left-turn flank. They are way out of combat effective range. If an engagement were to happen here on the right, they would not be able to support. No way, not with this fog.
No, definitely not. They're definitely not going to be able to see that at all. Really looks like, though, on the opposite side of the map, on the Red Force side where they're at, Blue has pushed out really far. I'm not sure if they got lost or what's going on, but they're going way too far. Red's just going to be able to walk right up. Now, that could be a blessing if Red gets past them without seeing them, and they decide, oh, we made a mistake, we're going to start moving back. They may end up coming right up behind them, and that could be interesting.
Absolutely. I mean, the farther they move in without being spotted just means the more possibility that they're going to be hit on their flanks as they advance.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, I think it's
looks like
important
they
to
did
note
leave it.
that there are two objectives for Red 4 to attack this round. Hill 41 as well as the town center of Therisa, meaning that they have to hold both objectives in order as a win condition in order for them to win this round. So that's going to be even more difficult to push BLUFOR out of those two sectors at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like Red 4 they're taking their time. I think they're scouting, planning, trying to look to see where they may be. Blue 4 did leave an element up on those rocks on the top of the hill. They are looking in the direction of OPFOR, but I don't think they have eyes on them. They're still got some good distance, and the fog will play a role in that.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're way out of combat effective range. And definitely, we can't understate the purpose and the importance of the fog in this match. And it really brings down, your effective range, your visual sighting range to around 500, 600 meters.
Yeah, it really is inducive to a close quarters battle, which is always entertaining for PvP battles.
Oh yeah, that's good for us. I mean, we like to see those close quarters battles. It definitely makes the impromptu ability of the players to win gun battles much more important than kind of like the minute tactics that take place in long range gun battles. While not as exciting to watch, are still very important for the match.
Well, that's a great point.
So yeah, we see
looks
OPFOR holding position currently in this kind of cluster of buildings, and I think this is a good idea. They want to get their bearings while they're in solid cover. Plan their route ahead, kind of adjust, see if you can use their squad leader's binocs to identify enemy positions, and then kind of move up and counter the enemy positions as they are spotted.
Yeah, definitely good tactics being displayed on OPFOR's part. The way that they're moving, they are very susceptible to being seen from the hilltop, so it is advantageous for them to take it slow, be very meaningful about your movements, make sure you know exactly where you're going, when you're going to go. I mean, for all they know, BLUFOR is sitting in the elephant grass through here in this little marshy area.
And I think the elephant grass is probably their best route of advance here. I mean, they're not going to advance across this open field that surrounds that it's between the hill and the actual OPFOR position currently. And I think they're going to move, the route that offers the most cover, which is that elephant grass, and kind of loop around and flank Hill 41. But I think we did spot a BLUFOR unit inside that marshy area earlier. Are they still in that position, Ops?
No, that's a negative. They definitely moved out way further than that. They just kept going out that direction, out the road. They are hard pointing an area out there, but I don't know how much that's going to be effective. It seems to be a little bit out of range for what they want.
Absolutely. I've got eyes on that unit now, and I totally agree with you. That's a little bit too far. I mean, although they will cover the approach between the elephant grass and Hill 41 if OPFOR decides to take that route.
Well, that could be actually good. If they can actually get pretty good eyes on that crossing between the hill and the elephant grass, they could hit them from their flank, really exposing OPFOR to a lot of casualties on that approach.
Absolutely,
So
and
it could be good. I mean, I think they're still a little far out for that, though.
Yeah, that's right. Both teams are still very far spread apart, and I think right now it's going to be a matter of maneuvering, right? Who decides to move across when? If OPFOR decides to go across that marshy area and then makes a direct bolt towards Hill 41, they're going to bear the full brunt of that BLUFOR kind of force on their flank, as well as taking fire from their front from Hill 41. So that's going to be probably a negative, bad engagement for OPFOR to take. I do see a positive in that it seems like the OPFOR are moving even further on the flanks of that elephant grass, and they might even be able to come up to the front of the BLUFOR positions that are stationed above a little bit of a rock pile.
Yeah, I wonder if they maybe have gotten eyes on them because the guys aren't really staying still up there. They're moving around. They're constantly skylining. So they may have gotten eyes on them because they are looking in that direction. They got pretty good eyes towards that area. And to be honest, I would kind of assume that Blue would probably have someone up there. So I'd be watching for that. And they're probably flanking it, thinking that, all right, if we can go further right to the bridge and up through the elephant grass and the little valley there, the little stream, they may be able to come up from behind and sweep it. So who knows? Maybe because with Blue pushing out so far, that actually could end up being a good thing. Could be a lot closer than I think, depending on what OPFOR's route of attack is going to be.
I just want to bring up to note here, and I suppose it's just a matter of fog of war here, but we do have several units of BLUFOR that is still way left of Therisa, that are currently going to be, unusable in the next gunfight if it does happen. Granted, if you're from their position with the fog of war up, you don't know if enemies coming from that sector. You don't know that the OPFOR has decided to make a consolidated approach with all of their units on one flank, rather than making like a pincer type units and splitting their whole team into two squads. And I think that by having units on that flank, while they're not going to be part of the first gunfight, they're able to be retreated and moved back into the center of the town in order to defend against any kind of possible attacks later in this game, thereby kind of saving their lives for later and making the late game more important for them than the very start.
Yeah, I mean, Blue basically went and formed a defensive line the whole way across that front. That's essentially what they were doing. And if they find that Red 4 is all coming up the right side, which they are, then those Blue guys can easily fall back into the town to reinforce it. They're in a good position to provide reinforcement into the town. It's pretty good planning there.
I suppose so. The only worry I have is just that it might be a little bit, too far of an extended line. They're going to be facing the whole the whole Red 4 force on that kind of consolidated position near the marsh, and I think that one unit, on their flank won't be able to sustain a whole freaking company's worth of Red 4 shooting at them, therefore kind of eliminating that squad right off the bat.
I could, but BLUFOR they are spread out, so I mean it's advantageous. They don't have everyone in one spot like Red 4. So Red 4 gets pinned down. BLUFOR has maneuverability to move around and maybe flank or take them from the side.
And if it does come to that, it's a matter of Red 4's ability to use squad tactics and use fire team tactics in order to have the best result, in order to sustain kind of their own units and sustain fire on the enemy.
Yeah, exactly. But it looks like Red is pushed up now a little bit further up into one of the buildings towards the bridge. They're kind of reinforcing it at the moment. Probably planning on advancing into the elephant grass.
Yeah, I'd see that. They're definitely making a kind of small bounding maneuvers between the fire teams, moving towards that elephant grass. And once they get in there, I mean, they won't be able to be spotted by the guys, above them. Maybe they will because they're just getting closer to each other, but they have a lot of cover down there.
Yeah, I mean, if they stay low, it's going to be hard to see them coming through until they get a little bit forward up to the road, to the base of the hill. But they will be seen at that point. As soon as they get out of that elephant grass, BLUFOR should definitely be able to have eyes on them. Unless the tree cover is actually blocking their view down into that area, but I'm not sure.
That is true. I'm going to move down towards their actual view and see what they can see on this flank here.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at the position earlier, and it looked like they had some pretty good sight lines out to the other town across the fields. I didn't look to see that way to the way that Red 4 currently is, but I do think they're going to have eyes out that down to that direction and should be able to quickly see OPFOR's advance in that area.
Looking from the blue 4 position towards the red 4 forces, I don't know, man. There's a lot of foliage in that elephant grass area. There's a lot of tree cover as well, making the leaves, at the very top of the tree, covering kind of that approach if you're looking at it. It's going to be hard for them to spot. I do agree if they do decide to move to the edge of this forest, then they're definitely going to be spotted. It's very easy, and Blue 4 does have a good shot.
Looks like Red 4, didn't want to interrupt, but looks like Red 4 is moving forward. They went from that building through what looks to be like apple trees, and they're heading up towards potentially the other building on the other side of the marsh, which may put them in sight with the Blue 4 guys that are off there in the distance.
I was just at the Blue 4's position, and I think if they do move to that one-story log house, they will be able to be spotted by the Blue 4 forces. They do have direct line of sight on that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be an interesting approach here. And we do see something interesting is that first OPFOR team is really the only team that's moving into the elephant grass so far. And the other two teams are still trailing pretty far, behind, although there's one team entering now. But
yeah, it looks like that they're just kind of bounding up in their teams, which is the right call here. You don't want to push everyone up. You're going to get that's a move that's going to end up getting a lot of people killed. The least here, if these guys come under contact, they can fall back to the main force.
So I'm thinking there might be contact. The first contact of this match within 2 minutes. This first team has pushed past that longhouse and is going to be moving to the edge of the forest. If they do, they're going to be able to be led up by Blue 4. And I think Blue 4 sees them.
Yeah,
They've oriented towards that direction, and it looks like they're ready to engage on the next time they spot the OPFOR forces.
I think they're waiting to maybe get a better idea of just how many are going to be coming up through
I
there.
counted 5 in that fire team.
Yeah. And it looks like
they're on the edge of the tree line.
Are aimed
here we go.
At them.
If Blue 4 is going to see them, they've got to see them now.
Know.
They're on the edge of the tree line here. How about the other OPFOR elements? Are they able to support if that first kind of
not
team
from that
becomes
position?
Engaged?
No.
I see. There's one.
They
moving
may
up
be
to
able
the
to fire
house.
into. Yeah, they may be able to fire into that direction, maybe to provide some cover fire to allow them to bound back. But if it's a quick engagement, accurate fire, looks like one of these teams is going to go down real quick.
I have a feeling it's going to be definitely on the Blue 4's advantage here. They are lying down. They have their guns trained on where they believe the OPFOR is, and they'll be able to conduct the first engagement. They'll be able to shoot first, and we do see OPFOR moving out here outside the foliage here. So if Blue 4 sees them, this is going to be their time to engage. They're moving right up on that Blue 4 position.
They're going to move right up on them.
Oh, there we go. First shots. 1 down.
There goes 1 down.
2 down. 3 down. That was a fantastic engagement. I see 3 down.
Yeah, they had them directly lined up.
Yeah, good shots from them. We don't have any. We have some return fire coming from the tree line there. There's 2 units of.
Yeah, it looks like another element of red has pushed up into that. There are
Blue 4's taken, one casualty.
Both sides.
One casualty for Blue 4. 2 casualties for Blue 4. Nope, that guy managed to survive. Yeah, we have 3
Yeah,
up
there
for
was
Blue 4
several.
still in
That team that
position.
went up, there's only 2. The team that crossed the road, there were only 2 surviving members of it.
Absolutely. It looks like they took another casualty inside the tree line, so this was definitely a good good trade rather for Blue 4 at the beginning here.
Yeah, exactly. And it was good at Blue 4 to fall back where they are. They still have 3 guys I think they had 4, maybe 5 guys up there. So they still got 3 up. Still engaging. They're launching grenades into the tree line, hopefully to maybe flush out red or cause them to drop back.
I just want to make note as well that 2 Red 4 forces did actually successfully manage to cross that MSR, meaning they are on the side that the Blue 4 are located within around 50 meters of that position. So if they're able to keep their heads down and kind of wait for the suppressing fire from their friendly units, they might be able to move in and flank and engage the Blue 4 on the mountain here.
Yeah, I don't think they know that they're there yet. They definitely are in a little bit of defilade. It looks like maybe Red 4 is kind of moving around, trying to flank a little bit to the right of the Blue 4's position.
They're finally starting to open up. There we go. It's about time that Red 4 engages, and they're firing as well from the longhouse as well. So it looks like finally the OPFOR are able to put some heavy fire down on that Blue 4 position. It looks like they're pulling back.
Yeah, there's two guys pulling back. I mean, they're going up reverse slope here, so that's never good. But they didn't really have any other options, so they need to fall back to each one of these rocks, maybe one by one. Ooh, good grenade.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Took
Got
out one guy.
Beautiful. The other one's hurt. He's hurt bad.
Yeah, that guy's hurt. He's down. He's still up, but he's hurt, and he's gonna bandage once he gets into a safer
I think
position.
it's a good idea. Kind of crawl or move slowly towards that rock, heal, and push back towards Hill 41. Those GLs are coming in hot, though.
Yeah, he's got to be extremely careful with all his GLs. So now he's realizing he can't walk, so he's gonna roll over. That's awesome. Good
yeah,
use.
his legs are
Good
his
use
legs
of
are
the
shot
armor
up.
mechanics. Yeah.
Yeah, he's under heavy fire. Let's look and see what the OPFOR or what the BLUFOR are doing to respond to this engagement.
Yeah, it looks like the far elements on the other side are still stationary. They're still sitting out there. The rest of the elements are still up in the rocks. They are holding their positions. They haven't moved. I don't think any other BLUFOR has moved currently.
You see, that's interesting. I would have think that
reinforce.
the OPFOR or the BLUFOR on the left would have moved to support, at least moved back into the town. But there may have been a miscommunication with an idea that the force that they just faced could have been a few teams, rather it was the entire team, which kind of changes the whole balance of the round. If OPFOR is able to successfully, kill that last BLUFOR soldier, then they have pretty much a clear path into Hill 41 with only a few guys on that hill actually defending it.
Well, it looks like the lone guy still up is Optimus Manatee, and he is slowly pulling himself back to the hill. I think he has put enough distance between him and the OPFOR forces that he can actually take the time to heal up right now and continue his movement, which is still moving very slow. He doesn't look hurt. I'm not seeing any type of wounding on him, but I mean, he may not just be full health, but he should be able to move faster than what he is.
I think you're right. I remember seeing a lot of red on his legs earlier, meaning that that's where he got shot and obviously couldn't walk as a result, which I didn't see when I was looking at him earlier. So perhaps he's moving slow, crouched in order to have his weapon up. But we do see now that the OPFOR are finally moving into the BLUFOR's last position, and they're going to be clearing that and searching bodies.
Yeah, I think they're going to think that they got everyone. Maybe, well, no, I think they're going to know that guy is still alive somewhere. They know. I don't think they're going to realize. Honestly, I have no idea, but hold on. There's two more OPFOR guys. Do you see these? Do you see where where he's at, where the Red 4 guy is? Do you see these two OPFOR guys just sitting there on the left side? Where did they come from? How did they get up there?
Are you looking at the guys at the edge of the forest there?
No, I'm looking at Corporal Irving and PFC Verhey. They're sitting with their guns looking exactly where the BLUFOR were originally at, but they're on the left side of that. And if the lone soldier on the BLUFOR would just turn, he'd easily shoot these two guys in the back.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. They're crawling backwards towards the objective.
I don't think they realize that the guy is no longer up there. He's actually made a good move on falling back, and hold on, they're falling back kind of the same area.
Yeah, they're now oriented towards where that BLUFOR soldier was falling back.
He may have seen them. He kind of went prone. I think he does see them. Yeah,
he's stalking him now. I see them. He definitely has seen him. You're right. I'm not sure how they got up that far. That was impressive, I suppose.
Yeah, they definitely flanked around. Interesting. I kind of wish I would have seen them moving up.
So they got their backs turned towards that one BLUFOR contact. I mean, they better PID because they're friendlies on that mountain.
Well, we have looks like BLUFOR now is pushed down to the front of that hill on the approaching side. They may be trying to come into the side to flank. It sounds like they're launching grenade launchers at this house, at this lone building, but I don't think there's any Red 4 in that position.
No, I don't believe so. That's just way too far.
We got some fire now coming.
Accurate moving towards these OPFOR positions.
Yeah. OPFOR is being engaged again. They are now using the rock cover.
Yeah, that was actually fairly accurate. That's right on top of the BLUFOR's last position, so.
Yeah. Might switch through, see who that is engaging that. But looks like BLUFOR has pushed along the hilltop to this side of it now. To the side
now they're responding in force. Here we go. This is the second engagement of the match. I don't think it's going to breed any kind of big results here because BLUFOR can easily fall back. It's pretty far, so they're not really in super good combat effective range yet. But I mean, those shots are pretty accurate. So I mean, that was kind of impressive from this range.
Yeah, you know, our boy is on that side, Yahtzee.
That's your boy.
He's got pretty accurate fire, man. Alright, so it looks like... Where did the red guy go, the OPFOR? Still sitting in the rocks? Yeah, he's still sitting in the rocks,
Yeah, he's
or the BLUFOR guy.
Optimus Manatee.
I think he's falling back. No, he's still manning that spot.
I think that's a good spot for him to stay. I mean, he's gonna make the most impact.
He's gonna die, but he may be able to take a few.
I think
out.
that's most important. That's what happened with the squad, and I think what are we looking at for kill totals right now? Well, we know there's 3 down for
to be honest, I don't know.
3 down for BLUFOR. That's confirmed because there's the 4-man team.
At least 3 or 4 down for BLUFOR, and it looked like maybe 4 or 5 for red.
I think that BLUFOR has the advantage right now in terms of kill count. I think that OPFOR has the advantage in terms of how their forces are consolidated and placed right now. Simply because there's still a whole bunch of BLUFOR units on that left side of Therisa that are just not going to be able to be playing a part in this engagement.
Yeah, that's true, but BLUFOR has pulled. Well, they still got the 2 units out there. Only a couple guys, maybe 6 at most out there. But everyone else seems to be pulling towards this side, maybe realizing now that Red 4 is coming from this direction, and they're kind of consolidating on this side of the town.
Which is a good move. I mean, that's the best they can hope for. But I would like to see BLUFOR pull the rest of their security off to the left down to help with this engagement.
Yeah, but you got to remember, they're the defenders. They can sit and they can wait for Red 4 to make the advance.
That is true.
When Red 4 is attacking. They have to take the town.
There is a
BLUFOR doesn't have to be on the offensive.
45-minute round timer here. So we've gone through what, maybe around 15 minutes of gameplay, and Red 4 has moved up, but they haven't actually reached the first objective yet.
Yeah, we got that lone OPFOR guy surviving the first gunfight. He is now swinging around to the bottom of the hill in the trees. He's gonna regroup. Looks like he's gonna successfully be able to make it. We got OPFOR bounding across an open field into some rocks here, and some other OPFOR are actually sitting in that 1-story house along the road.
So they're actually a lot closer to the actual objective than I thought, and they're firing on positions on Hill 41 there, the guy in the doorway.
Yes.
So, I mean, they're moving up. I thought they were kind of stalled after that in first engagement, but they are moving up slowly. There's definitely a lot more distance between them now, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah, they got some open field here that they're going to have to cover, so they're going to have to bound and supply, get supporting fire. I mean, at any moment now they're going to be under fire again.
I think this final bound, or this next bound into the Hill 41, will probably spark the next engagement. I don't really foresee the next engagement happening from the current positions. I see OPFOR having to make a move towards the objective and kind of paying the price for it as they move across an open field here. But really, there's no other option.
Yeah, they're kind of stuck here. They're not going to fall back. They're not going to be able to do that. They don't have enough time for that. So they're going to have to just push forward here.
I think they're doing that right now. Yeah, I think what the route they're going to take, and I think is the best route, is from that 1-story house moving towards the hill. That's the closest position from cover to cover that they have. I don't see them using any other route. Any other route, and they've got more open ground to cover. That's the closest point between 2 pieces of hard cover that they can use.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, they don't really have much other options to really go here. They're pretty exposed in their current location.
Doubly true is the fact that this next engagement is just way in the favor of BLUFOR. I mean, they have cover, they have hard cover, and they have the height advantage. So those 3 factors, I think, are going to make a probably another successful BLUFOR engagement. But it's just a matter of OPFOR able to push all their forces at once and just overrun the BLUFOR positions. Because again, BLUFOR does not have their whole force holding this hill. There's a lot of units inside the city and on the outskirts of the city that aren't going to be playing a part in this next engagement.
Yeah, they may start to pull them in. I think once they start realizing the size of the force that's over there on OPFOR's side, because they still got ground beef, Grim, uh, Ghost Cell, and a few others out in the distance on the other side
Yeah, it
of the
looks
map.
like they're
Yep.
moving slowly around. Looks like they're starting to move those perimeter forces, but they're not going to encounter any resistance. I mean, perhaps if they continue their movement, they might be able to move into a position that they would be able to flank eventually the OPFOR force, but that won't happen for a while.
Yeah, and I mean, BLUFOR only has 5 forces out there, but it looks like some of them are actually starting to pull back, 2 of them at least, pull back to the other side of the town and maybe towards the solar panels out there, and maybe coming up around to reinforce the other side of the
Hey, here
hill.
we go. We got smoke out.
So we got
yeah.
some smoke being
Looks
shot.
like this perhaps could be covering
This
the
is the best
advance here.
idea. So where are they in? So they're launching GLs here, which, this is a good thing. Provide a smoke screen and then throw some GLs up there. Get them kind of scurrying about and moving around.
Yeah, it looks like we're
Could
getting
be
ready
good.
for
This'll
the
be good.
crossing here. It's probably going to be a consolidated effort.
Yeah,
that's
that's
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
smoke being
smoke.
poured onto that hill.
Yeah, I mean that's really how they're gonna have to do this.
The
They need
wind
as
isn't
much
really in their
smoke cover as
favor,
they can
though. I
get.
mean, it's blowing up towards the hill. So the forces up there
Yeah,
won't really
it's
be
really,
affected. Rather, if the wind was blowing, horizontally to the hill, that smoke would be much more effective than it currently is. So just unfortunate timing
Yeah.
for the OPFOR.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna have enough smoke to really cover what they want to really make this advance. Okay, so they are engaging. Looks like they do see them on the hillside here. But I can't tell who on BLUFOR is being engaged or if anyone has died. I think a few may have gone down here.
I think the BLUFOR are situated at the very top of the hill on some rocks. Those are the only BLUFOR forces I see. Really, I can foresee this just being suppressive fire as friendly teams bound across that open field.
Yeah, BLUFOR currently has 5 guys on the hill.
That's quite a force, and again, they have they're situated on the rocks, and they're situated with the height advantage. So they're starting to get take some pretty accurate fire from the OPFOR. However,
They are. All 4 is pretty exposed, but they have some guys shooting from the hillside on the reverse slope. Wow, an element is pushing up now to the tree lines. They made a good advance here. They were able to move up with
that's
pretty
a
good cover
squad's
fire,
worth of
pretty accurate
friendlies
fire.
that are up for moving up. So this is definitely their main assault, moving across the field now. Good tactical maneuvering on their part, having one team bound and the other 2 kind of moving to provide fire support.
Yeah, that was really good. They definitely did their job there with providing the cover. I mean, BLUFOR knew it was coming. They popped all that smoke. You see that much smoke, you know that they're going to start their advance.
So really, we're getting to a battle that's going to be both CQB and long range. Long range from the bases of fire, firing on top of Hill 41, or firing on Hill 41, as well as CQB from the forces that just maneuvered onto Hill 41 itself.
Yeah, those 3 BLUFOR are still way out there. They're on the other side of the map where we had started off the broadcast. I think they're pretty much out of this fight. They're gonna have to come back. That may be too little too late by the time they do. BLUFOR may be getting a little overrun here.
I'm currently using infrared or heat seeking as they're pushing into the tree line here. It's going to be harder to see, but I definitely agree with you. They're taking a
Yeah.
lot of fire. They might be forced to pull back, or at least pull to the other side of Hill 41 here. This is a strong OPFOR attack.
It is. They're pushing up the hill. I mean, pushing up any hill is going to be tough, especially when they have position firing downhill at you. But they are providing good, accurate fire with their GLs and popping smoke and putting fire to keep their heads down. So
There's another OPFOR base of
Looks like
fire
it's still
movement
5.
element that is starting to move off of their hill. Looks like they're going to get ready to cross just like the first team.
yeah, looks like they may have BLUFOR might have a couple people pushing up here. Yeah, so they got Arctic,
is
Jukes,
GL
Papa
Central.
Bear, Macleod.
Oh, they're
Yeah, I
taking
mean,
lots of
heck, you gotta
explosives on
use 'em,
top
right?
of this Hill 41. They actually haven't been hit yet, so I mean, good on them for maintaining their cover. But I'm not sure how long they can maintain.
looks
They're
like they may
pulling
be
back.
starting to
Yeah,
fall
I think this is a
back.
good move. Oh wow, that guy just
Oh, one guy just
banged
got
pretty
hit.
much. That was
Ooh.
weird. Yeah, he got nailed.
Yeah, it looked like he got hung up on a tree. I didn't see exactly
you know
what
I'm
happened,
pretty
but
sure
he
he
died.
did. I'm gonna have to zoom in when that happens in the actual video, but I'm pretty sure he got hung up on that tree. That's fantastic.
That's ARMA, ladies and gentlemen.
Those ragdoll physics, but again, I think that's what we've seen in PvPs for the last 2 rounds we've commentated. Is the last guy that decides to hold a position before pulling back always seems to get killed.
Yeah. BLUFOR really needs to start pushing back into the town and making this a CQB battle, because OPFOR here is really coming with a lot. They got a lot of guys coming up now. They're advancing their rear teams up to the front team on the hill side.
They're going to face the
It doesn't look like
entire
BLUFOR is
OPFOR
moving.
team here, these BLUFOR on the hill. So, I mean, they're really clustered together too, the BLUFOR. I'm not sure if they'll be able to repulse this attack. I think I'm agreeing with you.
I think they're trying to figure out what happened to their other guy. I think once they realize he's dead, they need to continue to fall back. I mean, they're putting grenades down in the area of the Red 4 advance, so they're making them think a little bit before they
Which
start
is good.
moving.
I mean, it might even be beneficial for Red 4 to kind of halt their advance, wait for their supporting teams to get online with them, and then begin moving forward.
Yeah, they're probably going to form a nice line, march up
Oh,
over
we're
this
facing
hill.
small arm
May
contacts
take
now
a few casualties,
as Blue
but
4 on the mountain are starting to engage, which I can only assume is the Red 4 that are going to start cresting. I can't confirm that, though.
okay, yeah, they are engaging that side.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Now it's a battle. They see each other. Absolutely.
It looked like Red 4 was actually pushing up the side of the hill, the front of the hill, kind of as a flanking maneuver while these ones provided a base of fire.
We got smoke out for the OPFOR, covering either their retreat or their advance. I'm not quite sure yet. Probably their advance.
Yeah, I'd say that's probably a good idea, or good thought.
Lots of smoke, so they've used quite a bit of smoke so
Yeah,
far.
they're overshooting their
Yeah.
smoke a bit, but I mean, except for in the front. But they are using smoke to the best of their advantage here.
And the OPFOR, or the BLUFOR, is still holding firm on top of this hill, which I think is good. I mean, you want to hold the high ground as long as you can before retreating. And now they're starting to face accurate fire. There goes another BLUFOR down. I think Grim took him out.
Goes one
They're
down.
facing accurate fire with a second one down. There's 2 left on that hill. I think my comments have been
two.
muted because they're just taking lots of casualties. This is the time to pull back, which they are not doing.
Yeah, they need. I mean, who knows what their orders are? They may be ordered to hold this at all costs, but I don't know. I'm thinking you got to hold that town. There's 2 positions you need to hold. Reinforce the other position that you need, and just maintain it.
I mean, you got to give it to them. They are holding it to the end.
Oh, we got a little small arms fire here from the guy on the rock shooting downhill at the other advance, the
Was he able to get
flanking
anybody?
element for OPFOR. It doesn't look like it. I lost eyes on the guy he was firing at. I'm gonna try to swing around and see if he got any.
So I think it's important to note, too, that guy we were following, the lone survivor of the last engagement, Optimus Manatee, managed to make his way all the way back towards this hill, and he's still alive as part of this engagement. And it looks like they're
Nice.
finally deciding to pull off Hill 41, concede it to the enemy, and pull back into the town.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like OPFOR didn't take any casualties from that small arm fire, and they are now pushing up. And BLUFOR is pushing back hard. They're just bucking it down to the
I think
back
that's
of
the
that
best
hill.
move they can do. So definitely in the second engagement here, we have another, I would call it an OPFOR victory.
Yeah, definitely an OPFOR victory. I mean, if you can see the numbers that they had just pushing up over that hill, they're going to get good eye. Well, they're actually going to have no eyes into that town. There's a lot of tree cover looking that direction, so they're going to be forced to go down into the town for CQB.
Which is, BLUFOR's territory. Obviously, in defensive kind of nature, CQB is probably the best in terms of getting kill ratios. So you're able to ambush, you're able to attack flanks, and you're able to just get the drop on people. So definitely, going into the next engagement, once again, I'm going to have to give the advantage to the BLUFOR like I have been. But they haven't able to, they weren't able to pull it through the last 2. So here's hoping in the third engagement they kind of are able to even out the odds here as the OPFOR moved into their final objective now that they've secured Hill 41. That is the town center of Therisa.
Yep. The shot that I got of them just swarming over the hill looks pretty cool. That's a pretty good move. They got to be feeling pretty good about themselves right now with that advancement. But if you look past them on the other side of the town, looks like we may have a BLUFOR element flanking, maybe trying to come up from their rear here. It's out in the
Is
distance.
that ground beef's element at that warehouse we were talking about pregame?
Negative, negative. If you look at K Bella, Trey, or Mercs out in that direction.
Oh, Raj, yeah, I got eyes on them. Yeah, look, well, they're quite a ways away from the actual objective here. They don't look like they're moving though.
Well, they just stopped. I think they're resting. They seem to be flanking out and around. What they need to do is cut on the other side of that house that's there, and then come down towards the hill and push up behind.
I
this
agree.
element.
If they're able to do that, I mean, they will get a perfect flank off on the OPFOR advancing forces. But I mean, time isn't really in their favor here. They've got to defend for a certain amount of time, and that's a quite a long hike. Also, it's important to note that they can't let Therisa fall to the OPFOR attackers.
Yeah, they looks like the BLUFOR is kind of falling back and reinforcing the center of the town. They're in some buildings, watching over the hill. I think they finally know now for sure that all of OPFOR is coming up over the hill, and it looks like those three guys that are off by the warehouse on the other side are outside of the warehouse now, or maybe there's four. Is that a fourth person? Yeah, I think there's four, and I think they are now coming towards the town, towards Therina.
Yeah, you're right. Finally, they pulled away from that position. I mean, they should have done that earlier, but you could blame it on the fog of war or whatever. But they're going to play an important factor in this engagement. They're going to take a long while to actually move back into the town, but their element as a reinforcing element might just turn the tides of the next battle.
Yep. So I'm still not sure what this other element off in the distance that I thought maybe was going to be flanking. They're kind of just sitting in the trees out there. I'm not sure what they're angling for here, or if they're going to try to push. I don't know. I have no idea what they're doing.
I guess we will have to wait and see. Okay, well, it looks like, let's summarize this round quickly. I think I said earlier, I misspoke, and I said I gave the first firefight as a victory to OPFOR. I think that first firefight was a victory to BLUFOR. They took out more than they, had taken out from them. They killed around 5 or 6 OPFOR soldiers crossing that MSR. They only took 3 casualties, and one of them managed to escape all the way back to Hill 41. What do you see happened in the second engagement, and who would you give the victor to?
Well, the second engagement looked like BLUFOR went to reinforce the hill, or they just still had their couple guys up on the hill. It looked to be a little bigger than a fire team element. And OPFOR smoked it and advanced, provided some cover while a squad advanced up. And that engagement, I mean, you got to give it hands down to OPFOR. They overtook the hill. They took the hill and caused 2 of the BLUFOR to fall back into the town. So definitely OPFOR with the victory of that particular fight.
Although I do think it's fair to note that it was basically a 15-on-5 battle. The BLUFOR defending that hill were thrice outnumbered. So I think they did a good job kind of defending their ground. We saw it. They stuck it out till the end. They managed to get out with 2 guys left, but it was a hard battle for the BLUFOR, and they definitely lost one of their largest contingents in that fight.
Yeah, and as it looks right now, I don't see that in that second engagement that Red 4 has lost anything. I don't think they got a single dead casualty.
I don't think so either.
From marching up on the hill like that. So I mean, you got to give that to Red 4. That was pretty good. Pretty good maneuvering and cover fire up that hill. Accurate fire. Was good. Okay, so it looks like the element that was on the other side of the map for Blue, that was starting to finally head back. They are kind of prone and looking with their binoculars, trying to figure out where to go. I wonder if they may be lost, or they're just not sure exactly where to go. I'm not sure. They need to they're definitely not going in the right direction.
No, it looks like they're moving closer even to the middle of the field. Oh, there's firing.
Yeah, a guy in the building is shooting on the hill. Did he manage to take anyone out?
I'm not sure. That was definitely fairly accurate. I'm seeing red octagons in that area. I'm not sure how accurate, though. I don't believe he was able to take anybody out.
Yeah, I don't think he was able to take anybody out, but they are proned out, so he did stop that particular element from moving forward, but there are other elements still
I'm
moving.
gonna go into my heat sensing kind of spectator mode here, and you just see kind of white shades all across Hill 41. That's all of OPFOR kind of spread out and advancing very slowly down this hill. We already have one that is advanced off of the hill and into kind of the outskirts of Therisa. So we're looking to see a CQB battle happen fairly shortly.
Yeah, so we'll see who's the better CQB team here, but looks like Colonel Mason's team has reached the wall right outside of the town, and they are being prepared to breach here. So we're gonna get some CQB action here shortly.
So I'm kind of scrolling through BLUFOR players, and I think the first kind of contact they're going to come across, I see Dawn that's fairly close into the center of town. Looking for other BLUFOR players, but there's one in that 2-story as well. I don't have his name.
Yeah, it looks like the BLUFOR element on the other side are finally realizing where they needed to go. They're coming up, but they're going to expose themselves to this team that's sitting on the side of the hill and in the hut. Maybe. There is some tree cover there. It's their line of sight. They don't have any height on them, so they may be able to get a little bit closer.
So John Clark and Dawn are really the only two BLUFOR elements that are positioned kind of on the outskirts of Therisa. All the other units are kind of pushed back either into the center of the town or are way in the outskirts. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think my prediction for what's going to happen here is that BLUFOR will have to probably retreat or just die on the perimeter. OPFOR is going to advance into the center of town. There's going to be a sustained engagement in the center of the town. OPFOR will capture the center of the town. But before the time runs out, I think that BLUFOR is going to try to, retake it with their two elements that are currently way in the perimeter. And OPFOR will probably defend that attack, ending with an OPFOR victory. That's my master prophecy right now.
Yeah, it looks like John Clark is pretty accurate with his grenades. He's lobbing grenades over to that warehouse of the first team coming in. He hasn't taken anyone out, but he's caused them to prone out and stop their advancement.
Which is important, especially in a timed round. You just want to kind of delay your opponent as long as you can, especially if they're on the negative in terms of person to person strength right now.
Yeah. So, interesting to see what kind of these maneuvers of some of these individual teams are doing. You got two elements that are almost going to come in from the sides on both of these teams here. So, I mean, it could completely surprise BLUFOR if they get there in time. Or OPFOR, my bad.
I agree, but it's a matter of getting there in time. And I don't think they will get there in time. I think that by the time they actually, come into combat effective range and actually move in, and assault OPFOR positions, it's going to be when the town has already been secured by OPFOR, and it's going to be a retaking effort rather than a defensive effort.
Yeah, but I think we're going to end up going into some overtime with this, with the elements that are still going to be coming in. So this match isn't close to being over yet, but it is weighing in the favor of OPFOR.
That's a good point. I think it's a good time to mention that quick rule set as well, is that while the round timer is generally around 45 minutes, if the actual objectives are contested and actively contested, then we will extend into overtime for around 10 more minutes longer, or however long it takes for the engagement to really wind down and for us to determine clearly that there is a numerical victor here.
It looks like John Clark is engaging an element on the hillside. He's kind of stuck where he is. He doesn't really have much options. But as you see, there's the guy going through the garage here for OPFOR, Verhey. He may come into some...
Oh, John Clark just killed an OPFOR opponent. Fantastic shooting on his part. So, this is the defensive advantage.
There are more guys in that area.
Absolutely.
Oh, what do we got going on here? All right, looks like OPFOR tried to come down from the rear here to kind of flank it. And they are being engaged from the house, from the 2-story house, forcing them to go back in the house.
Good positioning on her part. We see, Joe Clark and Don covering each other's flanks and rears, so this is good. But we do see now that, OPFOR are moving closer and closer into that town center.
Yeah, we got Yahtzee and Dawn in that building that it opened up on them. Yahtzee tends to carry the assault rifle, so my bet is he's the one engaging them. She may be actually lobbing some
So
grenades
that
at
machine
them.
gunner killed
Yeah, she is.
killed an OPFOR opponent. So they've lost 2 currently in this engagement, and NATO, the NATO or BLUFOR forces have not lost any in this defense of Therisa.
Yeah, it's a good defensive effort. Though, if you look where Dawn and Yahtzee are sitting, there is going to be a red fort moving up on their position. He entered the house right next to them.
Oh, he's
so
close.
He is now
Yeah,
going
this is
to
gonna
be
be
going
close.
up to the steps.
Ops, do you want to follow this engagement as it happens?
Yeah, I'm following this engagement right now as it's happening. So, looks like Verhey is now entering the building. He knows they're upstairs. Looks like someone went through the front and up the steps here.
Oh, here we go. He's
So we got
downstairs.
3 people up
wow,
top
it's gonna
here,
be close.
and he is
He's
downstairs.
meets an opponent downstairs.
Oh, here we
He's
go.
looking
Here we go.
upstairs.
Here we go.
Oh, they meet each other.
They don't. Oh, and
he managed to win the gunfight.
Oh, and he win that
Wow, I don't
engagement.
know
He
how
won that
managed to do
engagement.
but the BLUFOR upstairs are now alerted to his position. He's decided to pull back. I think that's a good move.
Yeah, he's pulling back, and now he's gonna sit in that window and watch. If he has any grenades, throwing a grenade up top may not be a
I
bad
agree,
idea.
yeah.
Looks like he's gonna
I
sit
think
in
that's
that
a good
back
idea.
room.
Kind of bandaged himself up. He took shots in that engagement. The BLUFOR upstairs are watching the stairs itself, so definitely he won't be able to move up there unopposed, and he'll definitely lose that gunfight if he decides to do it.
Yeah, but his current positioning, he's kind of hiding in the back, so he has that on lock. So they have to watch that position now, while the other elements of their team move up, while OPFOR move up and continue to engage them in that second story. So this may prove very well played here from the.
And I mean,
OPFOR
I guess it's important to
with,
note
sneaking in the
that they're
back.
still taking GL fire in that 2-story too. So I mean, that unit is suppressed, and you're
may-
right.
We may see another casualty here.
Possibly, yeah.
Looks like someone's. Yep. So being engaged. I don't know if anyone died. No, it doesn't look like anyone has took fire and quickly fell back, kind of moving around the front of that house.
So I'm not able to get a beat on Joe Clark that we were following earlier. It looks like he might be down.
Yeah, he was in that building. I would imagine that he's probably down, considering their rate on that building.
Well, it looks like that OPFOR unit in that 2-story
Yeah,
is
he is
deciding.
down.
Oh, those are some close GLs going off. Yeah, they've decided to pull
yeah,
back.
that's someone's
Yeah,
right
the
outside
person
there.
in that 2-story was hurt,
Okay.
so that she's bandaging right now, and the OPFOR is starting to move into that building.
So we got some BLUFOR now engaging the guy in the background, and he is dead. Verhey went down.
Good shots. Yep, I think you're right.
No, yeah, he is dead now. He died in the doorway.
Oh, you know what? You know who killed
We
him?
had
It was
the
the
blue elements come from out far.
reinforcing BLUFOR elements that was in the trees that we spotted out earlier. So they've made their way back.
No, it wasn't those guys. It was they were two of the 506 dudes. They were in one of the buildings out far and kind of swung around and went up behind since they knew that engagement was happening. Managed to get up behind the guy and kill him.
So while this engagement is happening, Ops, if you can give us a quick update on the periphery elements, where are they? Are they getting close to this engagement?
Yeah, I'm gonna cycle through real fast. I want to see. So it looks like that element of ground Salem, Grimm, and company are now moving up. They're at the base of the hill. They're moving up the hill, but I think they may be getting engaged. I'm gonna kind of swing around and see what's going on with them. So they are within. They managed to gain their ground and get to the hill, and it looks like they're gonna advance up the hill. And that other element that went way out behind are now working their way back towards the hill.
All right, we just had another
looks
OPFOR
like-
casualty inside the center of the town. It might have been a friendly fire incident. Cannot confirm though.
Yeah, let's see.
No, I don't think it was. I think
I'm
that was
not
ground beef that engaged that contact. Yeah, that was definitely ground beef. So not a friendly fire incident.
Okay.
Good shots on his part.
Yeah, he's in a good spot to hit some of these people from behind. So he's battling with this dude across the way. It looks like the red has been. Yeah, so Cressy is being again. Oh, looks like ground beef just went down from a second story
he's
fire.
down. Wow, good shots. Krasi, that's a third ID.
Oh, looks like squad leader for Cressy just went down. Cressy wasn't the one who engaged him and killed him. It was from a second story where Stardog's
Interesting.
element
So
is
definitely we're seeing lots of trades happen right now. And I almost want to say the trades are in favor of BLUFOR.
Yeah, it looks like there's a couple going down. BLUFOR still has a lot of people left. Yeah, Red 4.
Hey, we're seeing a close contact.
They're down
on
to a
Stardog's
center
building,
area,
or at least Corporal Irvin's building. There's guys all around him. He's decided to pull back. I think that's a good move. But that building is definitely contested. And they really have no route of retreat.
No, Red 4 only has that building. They no longer have the hilltop, and they are being engaged from all sides.
They're definitely.
Now.
I would say, not doing so well.
Those flanking elements got there in time to really support these movements.
And just like that, we see the Red 4 effort pretty much halted in the center of town.
Yeah, they got a lot of people in just those two buildings. Seven Red 4 in just those two buildings, and they're being watched from every side. So it's all about who's going to be making these. I
think it's a matter of if BLUFOR is able to actually pull out of this position. This is a bad position for them. They might be having like the defensive advantage, but
so if you look at Stardog and Job, they're moving, but once they get out on the side of this, there is an element of BLUFOR just sitting back on the hill there. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have real close battle here between Grim and Job. I believe it was Job. Yeah, Stardog and Grim. Oh wait, the same team. Maybe. Hopefully no friendly fire
it's
here.
Gonna be close.
No
they're definitely both watching that alleyway. There's 3 of them there now. What about Salem's element? Are they able to flank?
Salem and them are just on the hillside right outside.
I think they're
going
to be able to flank.
If they came in, they may be able to take them out from behind.
Right, Grim from Whiskey Stormcore. If they're able to push in right now, they're going to be able to kill Stardog, and that's going to be important as Stardog is the
and they are moving. They're moving behind the.
I'm following their approach right now. If they decide to peek this cold corner, they will see the BLUFOR kind of situated on the ground there. Oh, here we go. It's going to be close. There's 3 of them huddled around this corner. This might be the decider right here. If all 3 of these OPFOR are taken out.
Oh. I think they're going to see them. They got great eyes if they just...
They're looking around now. There we go.
So
boom, 1 down.
So do they. There goes 1.
I think that's about it.
I think that would be... Yeah, Stardog went down. Job is still there.
Stardog is down.
Job's going to peek out and...
I would not suggest
a grenade.
Carrying on this engagement. And look at that. He pulled away. Good idea.
He threw a grenade, but that's going to be way short.
His engagement to win.
No. So, I mean, we still got Grim, Valar, and several others in town here. And it looks like BLUFOR is now kind of moving and maybe trying to change their route of approach. We still got that Trey element of 4 guys way out on the other side of the hill. They're really no use into this battle at the moment. If they can come in quickly, they may be able to do something.
But I would definitely hand the advantage to BLUFOR right now. I think they're now in the lead numerically, and they're in the lead tactically as well. They've got positions all around, the OPFOR. And the OPFOR can't really do much.
Yeah. Blue has 11 or 12 people left.
We see OPFOR trying to make a move.
11.
There's a contingent of 2, clearing buildings.
Yeah, it's 11v5 right now. 11 BLUFOR, 5 Red 4. And we're going to have looks like we may have an engagement here real soon again. The guy's working up the inside of that courtyard.
That's Irving and somebody else.
Yes. So we got Irving and Valar, or Rex. Irving and Rex. Valar is... Where is Valar? Oh, he's flanked around the side with 2 other guys, and he may see this dude come out of the courtyard. I think that's exactly what's about to happen here. Yeah, yep. Oh, how does he survive that? Oh, man.
Oh, with that GL, that's an OPFOR.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
a
good
shot right on
GL.
the fence behind
Good
him,
GL.
so he's down.
So he's down, but his other 2 guys are still at the other entrance.
They've decided to move into the courtyard now, pushing forward. Oh, yeah, they're engaged.
All right, so they are shooting.
Yeah, he's injured too.
Yeah, they saw them.
So they're pinned in this courtyard now, as we see 2 other OPFOR elements moving in.
They're pinned here. They're gonna
That's a
start
good
lobbing
move.
some GLs, and ooh, I thought that was gonna be a good one. All right, they're
Hey,
popping smoke.
BLUFOR just took
popping
another
smoke.
casualty inside that courtyard. There's only one left. One left. Yeah,
Oh,
and he's
okay, he
inside
did die.
the small
Alright.
one-story red-tiled roof building.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if this engagement has actually turned the tables in terms of who's left, but I think you still got to give it to OPFOR here, or rather to BLUFOR. But you know, that was a good engagement for OPFOR. They managed to kill 3 people, and I think only lost 1 or 0. So
I don't
yeah,
think they
good on
lost
them. That was a
anyone.
reinforcing element, but
But they still got 5 guys.
so what is 5 to
And
7
BLUFOR
now?
has
Or
people
5 to
coming
9
in
rather.
yet. Yeah. So where is that trailing element out here now? Okay, so they're finally starting to work up the backside of the mountain. I'm probably going to be able to come sweep in. So let's see, what's the other BLUFOR elements in here? They have gone to the other side of the
They're on
town.
the left side of the town. Yeah, what are they doing there? They're clearing buildings, CQB style. This is not where they should be. They should be engaged in the center.
Yeah, I just don't think they know exactly where everyone has come from. I mean, it's... Alright, so there's 10 BLUFOR, but you got to remember 4 of them are out of the way. Aren't very close. I mean, they're coming in.
I almost want to call it an even fight. Simply because, you know, if those five BLUFOR are out of the way, they're not going to be part of this engagement. And really the objective is for them to hold the town. If they don't hold the town, we're getting near to that 45-minute cap. They're going to lose.
Yeah, looks like we got 5 minutes
The
remaining.
control from Stardog, yep. So I don't think that BLUFOR element is going to play a factor in this round. Unfortunately, they were just way too unaggressive. They tried to flank. They didn't meet anybody. They just took the wrong
Well, they have
routes.
5 minutes. They're at the hill, so they're gonna be able. They're gonna get there as long as they keep moving. They're gonna get there in time. They may be able to do.
Which they aren't right now. They're halted right now. So
Yeah, I wonder if they're trying to radio people and try to figure out what exactly is going on. But OPFOR took a lot of deaths here coming into this town, but they're swinging around now on this guy in the red hut. They have him surrounded. The Valar went around the other side, peeked
yeah, definitely.
and looks like they're pushing around and trying to maybe flank this guy out. They should just lob a few grenades. All right, so this guy's peeking out. Perfect timing.
Yeah, there he is.
Now the other 2, I mean, he's completely surrounded, but if he
They're
makes
on the
a move
opposite
now,
corner of the
he could get
square.
out of there.
He is facing the wrong direction though.
He's going to get out of here. He's going to be able to get out of this. It all depends on if he makes his move fast enough.
Yeah, we see the OPFOR on the corner, kind of moving slowly around that on the opposite side of the
Yeah,
square.
because Job is now moving to the main, towards the main road on the other side. So Valar and Grim are now falling back the other way. So this guy, Salem, is slowly
he's in the
moving,
free.
but
He's in the free.
here.
Yeah.
Let's see what the other BLUFOR elements are doing.
Are they still on that left side of town?
Yeah, they're still on the other side of the town.
Which isn't the objective. The objective
But it
is
looks-
to defend the center of town. So I'm not
It
sure what
looks
they're
like,
doing.
I mean,
there.
they are starting to head back. It looks like they are moving forward now, but I mean, they're not really sure how many are still there. So they got to be cautious. But both teams are coming up to the main area now.
I'm predicting this to be the final engagement between, you know, this reinforcing element, which is full strength. They have 4 guys, and between the ragtag group of OPFOR that has occupied really the center of town. So I think in this engagement, Salem might be the clincher. He's on their flank now. He's on their rear.
Yeah, if he could successfully get up and take a few of these guys out, that could really turn it, and to a complete BLUFOR victory here. As it currently stands, though, it's pretty much even at the moment.
I would call it even too. I don't think that reinforcing element is going to get there in time from Hill 41. They're still moving slowly. They're on the top of the hill, fine, but they're not going to get to the town center within 5 minutes.
We'll see if there gets any extended time here because of this impending engagement. So we'll see. They may have time to come down that hill, but they got to move. If they're not on the radios talking with this other team, they need to, or even seeing that there's 5 minutes left, they really need to get a little bit of a hurry up in their step.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. You got to display tactical awareness, and definitely the primary objective for them is to defend the town. So they should have been in this town a long while ago. I can understand the logic of trying to move around the flanks, the rationale of trying to get behind the enemy, to the side of the enemy, to catch them unawares, but simply they took too wide of a flank, and they didn't take the route the enemies were taking.
We got two elements here really close to each other. They're just right across the street from each other. I don't know that they're going to be able to see. Well, looks like Joby and them are going to be up in that second story now. They may be able to see down.
Joby might be able to get shots here. Yeah, if he's able to see down into that courtyard, I mean, they're being offering themselves up in a silver platter here.
Yeah, BLUFOR's best bet is to go inside there. That's definitely their best bet.
That's a nice 2-story. They have lots of windows.
And that's like,
we might see a breaching of or that's Joby right inside the street. So they're within 10 meters of each other. And
right on the corners.
Oh, Joby's facing the wrong direction, though. He's moving back, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Valar's group is... engaging the team on the hill. Yeah.
No way. So they might become useful after all, wow.
Well, Valar's team was heading back to take control of the hill, and they saw them up there. So it looks...
Oh, wow, yeah, they're moving back to the hill. You're right.
Here,
so I can't believe it. They might actually beat it. Grim is still up, and I think Valar's still up. How's Joby doing?
I heard fire too, but I was looking up on the hill. Looks like Joby is down. Joby's down.
But Rex is still in that general
Rex vicinity. Is in the building.
Joby decided to push into the center.
We just have some friendly fire? I'm not sure who he's shooting at.
Salem and Rex are going to be the next engagement here as they're getting really close. How's the engagement on the hill going?
They were engaging... who's in the red? Irving in the other 2-story building from the opposite side of the street. He is falling back now. He's coming out the front.
He's within 10 meters of Rex, or within 10 meters of Salem, who's just across the street from them.
Irving and Rex are both there. And then, what's the 2-story there with Optimus Manatee, the survivor, Rook, and Papa Bear.
I can't believe he's still alive.
Still in the 2-story at the center of town.
So Salem's taking position on the 2-story. He won't be able to have visual on Rex and Irving from his position.
Red 4 is now kind of flanking around to the courtyard that BLUFOR was in before they went into the 2-story buildings.
Yeah, I got eyes on them. So, Ops, currently in the round, who do you give the advantage to?
Well, who won the engagement up on the hill? It looks like it's a 2v2.
I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, so I would count that as engagement as ongoing.
Yeah, it's definitely ongoing. We'll see. Whoever wins that engagement on the hill, well, I don't know. Honestly, I think it's really even. Whoever wins one of these decisively is going to have a huge advantage. Oh, looks like BLUFOR wins in the defense. BLUFOR was able to hold the hill and center of town, being contested and winning the round.
So great job for BLUFOR, and I think it was very much at the end there. Salem or that flanking element did have control of the hill 41.
Ended up actually being a huge gamble and paid off immensely.
Absolutely. So they played a large factor in coming out with a V here, but I do think that the elements inside the town, they were still holding it. They weren't defeated. They weren't taken out. They were still holding their position inside. So definitely great game there. Great job to BLUFOR that defended, and great job to the OPFOR that successfully attacked for most of the game.
Yeah, definitely Red OPFOR coming in with numbers, really overwhelming some of the spread out elements of BLUFOR, able to take advantage of the hill and sweep down into the town where BLUFOR had some excellent defensive positions to really slim down the numbers of OPFOR coming into the town. Really made it an even fight once the town got in, because I think OPFOR was really taking it to BLUFOR coming up on the advance.
Well, Ops, thanks for commentating with me once again.
Hey, it's always a pleasure.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. I'm MicOne, you're awesome, and I'll see you here next week on Friday Night Fights.